Well, that was a very eventful 48 hours, and you guys might have noticed something yesterday. My channel vanished. Without any warning, without any strikes, out of nowhere. YouTube just suspended it. And yes, it was YouTube's doing. I did not accidentally delete it or whatever. No. YouTube just said out of nowhere, yeah, your channel is gone without any warning whatsoever. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have known about this. You would have seen the updates. But for those that don't, yeah, I was suspended. This is probably the first time. A lot of you are probably wondering what the hell happened. That's exactly what occurred. YouTube just said, yeah, you're suspended. No warning, nothing. Which is just weird because don't you usually get warnings if you somehow violate a rule? Which, let's talk about that, by the way. According to YouTube, the reasoning that I got banned was spam and deceptive practices. Hold up. What? Spam or deceptive practices? What a vague reason to ban anybody. And you actually look at their policies, I never violated any of this. So that's why I was confused, like, wait, why was I banned for spam? Why? Like, what's the actual reason? It just says spam and deceptive practices. It's very bizarre. And it's the same week YouTube was claiming that Jim Jordan, that, oh, we only censored Americans because of the Biden administration. They forced our hand. We were forced to do so. And we're going to bring back freedom of speech. We're going to unban all of these accounts that got banned for horseshit reasons. Well, that turns out to be a big lie. And morons like Jim Jordan fell for it. Oh, they promised us this. Well, they're doing the complete opposite. Now, let's be fair to YouTube. There's a good chance that the reason I got banned was the algorithm. It's such a shitty system that they banned me on accident because the algorithm said so or whatever. But at the same time, isn't it strange that this only happens to people on the right? This never happens to anybody on the left, which is very strange. Like, why do these mistakes, in quotation, why do they only happen to people on the right? It never happens to anybody on the left ever, which is very strange. What are we doing here? So you're telling me that this only happens to right-wingers, which is entirely possible. Maybe it's all a big coincidence. Sure, maybe that's what happened here. But this is where things get very strange, because I sent the appeal within 5 minutes. Okay, like within 5 or 10 minutes of me getting suspended, I appealed this, obviously. Well, it said it's going to take like 2 business days, okay? 2 business days to get a response. Okay, whatever. Expect an email like on Monday or Tuesday or whatever, okay? Well, guess what? I got the email response within like 10 minutes. And take a guess what they said. We reject it. Hold up. Did you even look at the appeal? Did you even bother looking? Because I find it very strange. 1 minute they say this will take like 2 business days. So like next Monday or next Tuesday. But within minutes, you read it and then you rejected it? What? How can you look at the email within minutes and then look at the alleged policy violation? How? You see the issue here? I don't think they ever looked at that email. I just think they had some shitty AI respond to it. That's probably what happened. They had some shitty AI look at it, and it said to itself, yeah, he violated the rule because I said so. It's over, case closed. And the alternative is actually worse, because if somebody did look at it, which I don't think anybody did, but there's a chance maybe they did. Maybe this was a manual response that they just immediately rejected. Because there's no way they looked at the email, there's no way they looked at the issues, and was able to get the response out in 10 minutes. There's no way. So if somebody did manually read it, which I don't think they did, they just rejected it immediately. No questions asked. It's gone. No matter what, that's a huge issue. And I brought this up on Twitter, and Team YouTube, they did respond. but it was such a shitty response. It was a generic answer. They said, sorry, can't do anything about it. And that's when the backlash grew. A bunch of people called this shit out, which thank you to everybody that said something about this. This is ridiculous. They gave a generic answer. They said, sorry, can't do anything about it. Case is closed. And a lot of people were asking, wait a minute. The answers are so vague. You did not even look at it. It's like, what are we doing here? And eventually it got so bad. I mean, a lot of big accounts, they were talking about this. At some point, they deleted that tweet, and then like 5 minutes later said, actually, you know what? We're going to look at your case, which should tell you everything. So, if it wasn't for the backlash, this account would be gone forever. This account would be deleted. But because the backlash got so bad, somebody with half a brain at YouTube, which I want to be clear about this, I'm not saying everybody at YouTube did this or whatever, but there's a good chance that there were a couple bad actors that pushed this crap through. I'm not saying that's what for sure happened, but it's entirely possible. But the backlash got so bad, and somebody must have actually looked at the case and realized, oh, this is horseshit. And that's how my account was unbanned. But here's the thing, if I did not have, 51,000 followers on Twitter, if it wasn't for you guys, my account would be gone forever. Which is just insane to think about, but because you guys, my account is back. But seriously, we gotta have a big discussion about big tech. There's gotta be something done with YouTube, Facebook, these other big platforms, because enough is enough. But we really can't do much if we have people like Jim Jordan in charge of somehow stopping big tech. You know why? Because Jim Jordan and many Republicans, they are bought off by big tech. They get a bunch of money from these big tech companies. And that's what's going on here. That's why Republicans never do anything about YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all these other platforms. They do nothing to them, which is insane. At some point, you have to do something, because these mistakes only happen to the right. Again, you notice that? This never happens to anybody on the left. But either way, Republicans have to get serious about big tech. And not just write strongly worded letters and then get YouTube to promise, oh, we promise this time to do this. No. You have to start going after these big tech companies. Whether you break them up, whether you do anything like that, you have to start setting examples. You cannot keep going on like this where a company like Google or whatever, they should not be allowed to censor people. Why? Why should they be allowed to censor people when billions of people use their website each month? We have to have set guidelines in the United States where if you want to operate here as a big tech company, you have to adhere to certain principles, like actual freedom of speech. Not this crap where, oh, if you say a certain word, you get suspended. No. In my opinion, if you're not inciting violence, if you're not saying shit like that, who cares what people say? Who cares? I may disagree with what a lot of people say, but listen, just ignore them. If you disagree with somebody, who cares? Ignore them. Now, if they're inciting violence, that's a different story. And people like that, they should be suspended. And right now, you do have accounts on YouTube. I'm not going to name them because everybody knows who they are. There are massive accounts on YouTube, Twitch, whatever. They are inciting violence right now. And of course, they're on the left. Like, at some point, you gotta change this system where, oh, you can't say certain things because you're a right-wing conspiracy theorist. But oh, the people on the left, they can say whatever they want. No, that's horseshit. So, we gotta really look at some kind of solution for big tech. Whether it's breaking these companies up, whether it's potentially, I'm not saying we should go through with this, but maybe forcefully make these platforms public or like publicly owned, because these are platforms that so many people use that's how they communicate their speech, their freedom of speech. That's how they do that. And if these companies are censoring it, this is outside the government. This is outside the government, and they're just private entities, I know, But essentially, everybody used it. Everybody uses these platforms, and as such, they should be treated as public entities. I'm not saying nationalize them or whatever, but at some point, you gotta have some kind of solution to this. You cannot go any longer with this horse shit of, they can ban you for whatever. They can ban you because you're a right-wing conspiracy theorist. If you're violating the law, that's one thing. I agree. If you break the law, you should be banned. But you should not be suspended for having controversial opinions. No. If you're not inciting violence, none of that crap, who cares? So, yeah, that's the first thing. And secondly, can YouTube stop with AI crap? Why is it that they have a shitty system that just determines by itself if somebody is suspended? And the worst part is, apparently, it's even the same process for the appeal. So you're telling me that the same AI that got you banned is the same one looking at the appeal? What do you think's gonna happen? Like, it's like saying you're in court and you get an appeal and you get the same judge, you get the same jury. What is this? Especially for accounts that have more than like 1,000 subscribers or in like the partner program. They should have a manual process, manual reviews. And if this was a person that did this manually that banned me, well, we have a much bigger problem, because it's not just AI. It's YouTube working to ban right-wing creators. So we got to look at this. The Republican Party, they have to do something. They have to do something now. They have the power to deal with this crap. So we'll see what happens, but thank you to everybody that supported me throughout this process. It's a mess. It's more than likely a mistake, but really, these mistakes only happen to people on the right. So we will be back with the streams and videos starting Monday again. Just working some stuff right now behind the scenes. Thank you so much for watching. Godspeed to all of you.